The ocean has long been a source of fascination and fear, capturing the human imagination with its vast unexplored depths and the strange otherworldly creatures that call it home. For centuries, tales of colossal sea monsters and shadowy leviathans have haunted seafarers and inspired folklore. From the mighty kraken of Scandinavian legend to giant serpents lurking beneath stormy waves, the deep sea has always been a place where reality blurs with myth. But while these stories may be woven from the threads of fantasy, the truth is that the deep sea is indeed home to some of the most bizarre and gigantic creatures on Earth. The deeper you venture, the stranger and more magnificent the life forms become, a phenomenon known as Deep Sea Gigantism. This natural wonder, where creatures grow to sizes unimaginable for their shallow water relatives, challenges our understanding of biology and evolution. While science has unraveled some of the mysteries behind this phenomenon, the question of why these creatures grow so large remains an intriguing puzzle. As we dive deeper into this enigma, we'll explore the theories that illuminate the reasons behind the gargantuan size of deep-sea life, the environmental factors that make such growth advantageous, and the surprising insights this phenomenon offers about survival in one of the most extreme habitats on Earth. Deep Sea Gigantism, as the name suggests, refers to the remarkable tendency for certain animals to grow to sizes far larger than their relatives in shallower waters. From colossal squid stretching up to 15 meters long to giant isopods the size of a small dog, these creatures defy our conventional ideas of animal size and form. But what drives this growth? While we have just begun to scratch the surface of deep-sea exploration and research, scientists have identified some key factors that may help explain this natural quirk. At first glance, it might seem that the crushing pressure of the deep ocean would act as a limiting force, stunting the growth of its inhabitants. After all, at depths of over 1,000 meters, the pressure is over 100 times greater than at sea level. However, this immense force isn't as much of a barrier as it seems. Many deep-sea organisms have evolved to be highly adaptable and resilient, often composed of substances that can withstand these extreme conditions, such as chitin and gelatinous tissues. Additionally, the buoyant nature of the ocean reduces the impact of gravity, meaning that organisms don't need to invest energy in supporting their weight as they do in shallower waters. This allows them to grow larger without the biological constraints faced by their surface-dwelling cousins. But it's not just the physical conditions that drive deep-sea gigantism. Biological and ecological factors also play an important role. Two well-established ecological principles, Kleiber's rule and Bergmann's rule, can help explain why some deep-sea creatures achieve such colossal proportions. Understanding deep-sea gigantism requires delving into the laws of biology that govern the growth and adaptation of living organisms. Two key rules, Kleiber's rule and Bergmann's rule, provide valuable insights into why deep-sea creatures tend to grow larger than those in shallower waters. Kleiber's rule: efficiency through size. Kleiber's rule, named after the Swiss biologist Max Kleiber, posits that larger animals are often more metabolically efficient than smaller ones. This means that although a whale's metabolic rate is higher than that of a small fish, the energy it uses per unit of body mass is relatively lower. This is due to the surface area to volume ratio. Larger animals have a smaller surface area relative to their volume, which helps minimize heat loss and energy expenditure. For creatures living in the depths of the ocean, this efficiency is crucial. The deep sea is a nutrient-poor environment where food is scarce, and the majority of energy comes from organic matter that drifts down from the sunlit zones above. To survive in such an environment, deep-sea creatures have adapted to maximize the efficiency of their energy use. Larger bodies help conserve energy and allow them to go without food for longer periods. This evolutionary push toward larger size ensures that they can make the most of the limited resources available in their habitat. Bergmann's rule: the cold and its effects on size. Bergman's rule takes a different approach, focusing on the relationship between body size and temperature. This ecological principle suggests that animals in colder climates tend to grow larger than those in warmer regions. The rationale behind this rule lies in the metabolic rate. In colder environments, the lower temperatures slow down metabolic processes, which in turn can lead to increased cell size and longevity. For deep-sea creatures which thrive in the frigid waters far from sunlight, this rule is evident. The deep ocean, often just above freezing, provides the perfect conditions for larger body sizes to flourish. Lower temperatures mean that oxygen dissolves more efficiently in the water, and a slower metabolic rate allows these animals to live longer and grow larger without the same energy demands faced by their warmer water counterparts. This is why giant sea spiders, worms and other species found in polar regions are so much larger than their tropical relatives. One of the most striking features of deep-sea gigantism is its connection to cold environments, particularly those found at polar regions and in the deep ocean. The deep sea, where sunlight fails to penetrate and temperatures hover just above freezing, is a habitat perfectly suited for the development of large body sizes. This is largely due to the unique properties of cold water, which play a significant role in shaping the biology and behavior of its residents. Cold temperatures are more than just a challenging condition, they provide distinct advantages for the creatures that inhabit the deep sea. When organisms live in colder water, their metabolic processes slow down, which means they use energy more efficiently and can live longer. This reduced metabolic rate allows for more resources to be devoted to growth rather than immediate survival. The colder environment also affects the way nutrients and oxygen are distributed, contributing to a state of relative slow motion for these creatures. This slower pace of life translates into the opportunity to reach larger sizes over time, as energy can be conserved and dedicated to growth. The most vivid examples of deep-sea gigantism can be found in polar regions, where life has adapted to the extreme conditions. Sea spiders, which can grow to have leg spans as wide as dinner plates, are a testament to the phenomenon. These creatures are not only larger than their temperate relatives, but are also some of the most unique organisms in the deep sea. Their slow metabolisms and the rich supply of oxygen in the cold waters allow them to reach impressive sizes, a survival strategy that helps them manage the scarcity of food. Other examples include the large sea worms and sponges that thrive in cold, deep waters. These organisms exhibit significant size variation compared to their warm water counterparts, further proving the effect of temperature on growth. The relative abundance of oxygen at these depths supports larger body sizes by facilitating the efficient use of metabolic energy. Deep-sea creatures living in polar environments exhibit what could be described as a living-in slow-motion effect. Their biological processes are tuned to adapt to the cold, making them less active but more energy efficient. This slower pace allows them to grow larger over time, which is a critical advantage in an environment where food is not just scarce but also unpredictable. In such conditions, a larger body allows for better energy storage and more. Another significant factor influencing deep-sea gigantism is the unique ecological conditions that come with isolation and limited competition. The deep ocean can be thought of as an island in the sea, cut off from the vast majority of the marine ecosystem. This isolation creates a specialized environment where the rules of natural selection push creatures toward unique adaptations. One of the most compelling theories related to deep-sea gigantism is the way that predation and competition are minimized in this dark, remote habitat. The island rule, originally observed in terrestrial ecosystems, states that small-bodied animals often grow larger on isolated land masses. This phenomenon is known as insular gigantism and can be seen in examples like the giant tortoises of the Galapagos Islands, which grew significantly larger than their mainland relatives. The rule suggests that when species become isolated, such as on an island, they may evolve larger body sizes due to fewer predators and limited competition for resources. Biologist Craig R. McLean applied this concept to the deep sea, which shares several similarities with isolated land masses. Just as islands can foster unique evolutionary paths due to their isolation, the deep ocean acts as a vast underwater island where species can adapt without the constant pressures of predation and competition found in shallower waters. With fewer natural predators and less direct competition for food, deep-sea creatures can afford to grow larger as there is more room for niche specialization and fewer immediate threats. A brilliant example of this concept can be seen in the deep-sea isopod, a distant relative of the shrimp and crab. While most isopods in shallow waters measure only a few inches long, the deep-sea giant isopod can grow up to half a meter in length and weigh as much as 1.7 kilograms. Found in the cold, deep waters of the Atlantic, Pacific and Arctic Oceans, these creatures are well adapted to a life of limited mobility and scarce resources. The lack of predators and competition allows them to evolve larger body sizes, providing advantages in energy storage and resilience. The giant squid is another classic example of how isolation and reduced predation can contribute to gigantism. This elusive creature, with its massive 15-meter-long body and large, powerful tentacles, is an apex predator in the deep sea, facing few natural threats. Its size likely helps it catch larger prey and defend itself, further demonstrating how evolutionary pressures in the deep sea foster gigantism. The deep sea environment's scarcity of resources also influences the size and behavior of its inhabitants. With food primarily consisting of organic matter that drifts down from the sunlit surface, energy conservation becomes a priority. Larger body sizes enable creatures to store more energy and survive longer periods without food. By adapting to their isolated, competition-free environment, deep-sea animals not only survive but thrive, carving out niches that would be impossible in more competitive, predator-rich shallow waters. The deep ocean is teeming with remarkable creatures that exemplify the phenomenon of gigantism. From legendary leviathans to bizarre, lesser-known species, these organisms are living proof of the evolutionary forces at work in the extreme environment of the deep sea. One of the most iconic examples of deep-sea gigantism is the colossal squid, a creature that embodies the mystery and awe of the abyss. Found at depths of up to 2,100 meters in the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean, this squid can reach lengths of up to 15 meters and weigh over 700 kilograms. Its enormous size is supported by a unique blend of adaptations that help it survive in its extreme environment. The colossal squid's massive body is equipped with long, powerful tentacles lined with rows of sharp hooks, allowing it to capture prey with ease. Its large eyes, among the biggest in the animal kingdom, are adapted to detect the faintest glimmer of bioluminescence in the pitch-black depths. The squid's giant stature is an evolutionary advantage in a world where food is scarce, enabling it to overpower prey such as fish and smaller squid and defend itself from predators like the sperm whale, which is known to be one of its few natural enemies. Another fascinating example of deep-sea gigantism is the giant isopod, a crustacean that looks like something out of a sci-fi horror movie. Found in the cold, deep waters of the Atlantic, Pacific and Arctic Oceans, this species can grow up to 50 centimeters in length and weigh up to 1.7 kilograms. While most shallow water isopods are small, these deep-sea relatives have adapted to the nutrient-sparse environment by evolving larger body sizes that enable them to store energy and survive long periods without food. The giant isopod is a scavenger that feeds on anything that drifts down to the ocean floor, including the remains of fish, whales and other creatures. Its slow metabolism allows it to go without eating for months at a time, making it well suited to an environment where food can be scarce. This adaptation to a low-energy lifestyle ensures that it can thrive despite the challenges of living in the deep sea. Beyond these two well-known examples, The deep sea is home to a variety of other large organisms that highlight the phenomenon of gigantism. The deep sea spider, for instance, is a species with leg spans that can reach up to 90 centimeters, making them some of the largest arthropods in the world. Despite their delicate appearance, these sea spiders are built to endure the pressure and cold of the deep, where they scavenge for food and exhibit a slow, deliberate way of life. The giant amphipod, a shrimp-like creature, is another example. It can grow to over 30 centimeters in length, a size that stands in stark contrast to its smaller, shallow water relatives. The giant amphipod's adaptations allow it to move through the deep sea with minimal energy expenditure, relying on its larger body to store energy and resist the challenges posed by its cold, high-pressure habitat. These giant creatures are more than just curiosities. They offer important clues about the evolutionary pressures of the deep sea and how life adapts to extreme conditions. They also illustrate the profound effects that natural selection and environmental factors have on the development of size and form. The size of these creatures isn't just a quirky trait, it's a survival strategy, an adaptation that makes them more efficient in an environment where food is rare and conditions are harsh. Energy, resources, and adaptation. The scarcity of resources in the deep sea has a profound effect on the evolution of its inhabitants. Unlike the nutrient-rich waters of coastal areas where sunlight drives a complex web of photosynthesis and primary production, the deep sea relies on a different system. Most energy in this dark, isolated world comes from organic matter that drifts down from the sunlit zone above, a process known as marine snow. This slow trickle of nutrients is the primary source of sustenance for deep-sea creatures, making the ability to adapt and conserve energy crucial for survival. Energy conservation, the key to survival. One of the most significant adaptations for deep-sea giants is their ability to conserve energy. In an environment where food is not only sparse but also unpredictable, organisms that can store energy for long periods have a higher chance of survival. Larger body sizes allow for more energy storage, enabling creatures to go without food for extended periods. This adaptation is particularly advantageous when food supplies are low, or when the next meal may be many months away. For instance, the giant isopod can survive for several months without eating, relying on its considerable body reserves. This energy conservation strategy allows it to endure the harsh realities of life at great depths, where predatory threats and competition for food are minimal. The ability to store energy and grow larger also means these animals are better equipped to travel long distances in search of prey, giving them an evolutionary edge in a world where resources are spread thin. Adaptations to resource scarcity. Beyond their large size, deep-sea creatures have evolved a number of unique adaptations to cope with their environment. One key adaptation is the development of slower metabolic rates. The cold temperatures of the deep ocean naturally reduce the metabolic rate of its inhabitants, conserving energy and allowing them to use resources more efficiently. This slow metabolism helps creatures like the colossal squid and giant sea spiders maintain their size and energy levels over long periods, even when food is scarce. Another adaptation is the ability to extract and use oxygen more effectively. The cold waters of the deep sea hold more dissolved oxygen than warmer waters, which helps support the metabolic processes of these creatures. This oxygen efficiency, combined with slower metabolisms, creates an environment where larger body sizes can thrive. The organisms that live in these depths have also evolved to be highly adaptable in terms of diet. While some deep-sea giants are strict scavengers, others have become opportunistic predators, taking advantage of whatever prey happens to pass by. The importance of deep-sea adaptations for science. The adaptations found in deep-sea creatures provide scientists with a wealth of knowledge that extends beyond marine biology. They serve as models for understanding how organisms can survive in extreme environments, which has implications for a variety of fields, including medicine, engineering, and climate science. Studying these adaptations can lead to innovations such as bio-inspired materials, new methods for energy storage, and even insights into potential future life on other planets. For example, the unique proteins and enzymes found in deep-sea creatures are often highly stable and resistant to extreme conditions, making them useful in biotechnology and industrial applications. These deep-sea adaptations offer a glimpse into the resilience of life, revealing just how far evolution can go to support survival in the face of adversity. As the effects of climate change become more pronounced, the delicate balance of life in the deep sea is facing significant disruption. While the deep ocean has long been considered a stable and isolated habitat, even these remote regions are not immune to the effects of a warming planet. The consequences of rising ocean temperatures, changes in oxygen levels, and shifts in food supply are all poised to impact the very survival of deep-sea giants and the phenomenon of deep sea gigantism. One of the most immediate threats to deep-sea ecosystems is the rise in ocean temperatures. While deep-sea organisms are adapted to cold conditions, even slight increases in temperature can have profound effects. Warmer waters hold less dissolved oxygen, a critical component for the metabolism of deep-sea creatures. Reduced oxygen levels can lead to hypoxic conditions that make it difficult for species to survive. In a warming ocean, larger animals, which are more reliant on oxygen and energy reserves, may be the first to feel the impact. The metabolism of deep-sea giants, already adapted to slow and efficient processes, could be further stressed, potentially reducing their size and altering their behavior. The supply of organic matter that drifts down from the sunlit zone, known as marine snow, is another crucial component of deep-sea food webs. As climate change affects the productivity of surface waters, there may be a reduction in the amount of organic material available to feed deep-sea life. A decline in marine snow could lead to lower energy availability for deep-sea creatures, putting their survival at risk and possibly causing a decline in the prevalence of gigantism. Larger organisms, which require more energy to sustain themselves, would be especially vulnerable to these changes. The disruption of temperature and adaptation. Deep-sea animals are adapted to very specific temperature ranges, and even minor fluctuations can be disruptive. Species that have evolved to live in the cold, nutrient-poor depths may not be able to adapt quickly enough to changing temperatures. This adaptation gap could lead to a shift in the makeup of deep-sea ecosystems, with some species potentially being outcompeted or driven to extinction. The current rate of climate change suggests that deep-sea gigantism could be significantly impacted, with larger animals being less likely to thrive in a warming and oxygen-depleted ocean. The implications for conservation. The potential impact of climate change on deep-sea gigantism has significant implications for conservation efforts. If larger, slow-growing species are more vulnerable to changes in temperature and oxygen levels, it may lead to a reduction in biodiversity and a shift in the balance of deep-sea ecosystems. Conservation strategies must not only focus on surface water and coastal regions, but should also include the protection of deep-sea habitats and the mitigation of climate change effects to ensure these ecosystems remain viable. The future of the deep-sea giants. The future of deep-sea gigantism and the creatures that embody it is uncertain. The warming of the ocean, changes in food supply and oxygen depletion are all factors that could fundamentally alter the landscape of the deep sea. As temperatures continue to rise and human activities such as deep-sea mining and fishing increase, conservation and sustainable practices are essential to protect these mysterious and giant creatures. Their survival may well serve as a litmus test for the broader health of our oceans and the delicate balance of marine life. The world of deep-sea gigantism is a testament to the power of evolution and the remarkable adaptability of life. From the colossal squid that haunts the depths to the giant isopod that scours the ocean floor, these incredible creatures demonstrate how life can thrive under extreme conditions. But as our climate continues to change, Even these remote and mysterious habitats are under threat. Protecting these deep-sea giants and their ecosystems is not just about preserving the awe-inspiring creatures themselves. It's about understanding and maintaining the health of our entire oceanic environment. If you enjoyed learning about these deep-sea wonders and the challenges they face, don't forget to like this post, share it with your friends, and leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. Your support helps spread awareness and fosters discussions that can lead to a better understanding of our natural world. And if you want more content about the amazing stories of Earth's hidden marvels, be sure to subscribe for more updates.